Welcome back, you guys. I am excited for today's video, even though I can count on one hand how many times I've started out a video completely barefaced, but I wanted to do a get ready with me video and use some of my favorite products that I've been using off camera for quite some time and show you the palette that I built with Lethal Cosmetics that I am so excited. I love this color story so much. But I've had a lot of stuff going on, which I've kind of been hinting at in my videos, and I kind of just wanted to sit down and talk and, you know, just tell you everything that's been going on while we get ready together. But I thought it could be fun and something different. But let's go ahead and get into it. So I've already done my skincare, and now I want to do my skin prep. So this is one of my favorite products. Now for me, I have more of a normal to dry skin. My skin is normal, but I have like dry patches, breakouts, things like that. I have this rash right here I've been trying to get rid of for a long time, but it is dry skin. But I love this product. So this is the DANESSA MYRICKS Moisture Repair Balm Serum. I do not recommend this if you have oily skin because it is very balmy, but it looks so beautiful under makeup on dry skin. And you can see like how much I love it. It is almost completely gone. It comes with like a little scooper thing to scoop it out, but I don't do that. I just put my hand in there and swirl it around and then add some to my face, and then I'll just like blend it in. But I just love the way this hydrates and looks. It is just a fantastic product, and I will definitely be repurchasing as soon as I run out of this one. I had to stop myself because I was trying to buy it early, and I'm like, girl, you ain't even out of it yet. Just wait. I have a bad habit of doing that, and then the product ends up lasting way longer than I thought it would. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and zoom you guys in, but if this is your first time here as well, my name is Heather, and I love all things makeup, but especially colorful makeup and indie brands. And if you love those things too, I really hope you will stick around, subscribe. I would love to see you back and hear from you down below. And let's kick it off with that. So before we get into that, maybe I won't talk as much about the products, but I'll have everything linked down below. But I'm so used to talking about the products that I'll probably will here and there because I can't help myself. But I'm going to go in with the Pore Diffusing Primer, and I just kind of like to put it in the T-zone where I have the most like bigger pores. But anyways, so as for my comments, I have not been very active in them in the last few months, and I hate that, and it's something I am working on now. But I've had a lot going on. Like if you're new here, you wouldn't know about any of it, but so most of you who are familiar with my channel know that last year our niece moved back in with us, and she was pregnant, and she had her baby this year at the beginning of January, which that has been wonderful. But it has still been an adjustment because I don't have children or teenagers, so I don't, know how to be a parent or a role model in that way. And, I've had to learn and adjust. But going in with my LYS foundation stick. But in December or early November, I can't remember which, her brother, our nephew, moved back in with us. And today's actually his birthday. He just turned 15. But so now we like literally have a teenager. And that's been an adjustment too. It's always been just me and Amanda here. And it's her, like, biological niece and nephew. But I absolutely love and adore both of them so much. But I mean, you can probably imagine there's reasons for them being here without saying what they are. But it's just all been kind of an adjustment, I think, for all of us. And I am the kind of person, I just do it silently. I've always been that way. Even, like, not saying I'm suffering or anything, it's not that at all. But any kind of emotion that I go through, I pretty much do it silently. But in the midst of all of this, like, change in my life, which I don't do well with change, which is something I'm working on, I get this letter from the city that I was actually born in. And my ex and I moved there, and we lived with my mom for like 3 months in 2019. And I get this letter from them saying that I owe taxes from 2019 all the way to 2025. And I'm like, you sent me the letter in 2025 at this address, but they were trying to, like, press charges against me for not filing taxes, when in fact I did not owe them any money at all for any taxes. But the issue was, like, some of it was easy to prove. Like, most of the years were easy to prove because I'd filed in other areas and other states and different things. Plus, I've lived in this house for 3 years, going on 4. So that was easy to prove. But there was a time there where I didn't have an address because, for those of you who don't know, I struggle with addiction. I've been sober for 4 years, but my ex and I both relapsed in 2021, and when we broke up, I didn't have anywhere to stay and was homeless for a while until I got a job and was able to get back on my feet. But I had no proof of residency for that time period, and I've stayed with, like, different friends, different people, and there was no way to, like, you can't use affidavits. It has to be legal documentation of a bill or something. But during that time, like, after our breakup, I lost everything. So I had to go back and, like, get my W-2s for some of those years. And because I no longer had the paperwork where I filed taxes, because during that breakup, I also just lost everything I owned, I had to completely start over. And I no longer had access to any of that documentation. So I had to, like, it was hard because I worked for Amazon, and all of my, like, email address, my phone number, all of that was changed and different because my ex had my phone disconnected and changed the passwords on all of my accounts. So I could no longer get into my email accounts, and getting those those W-2s were literally hell. And it's just been such a nightmare. But I finally went to court again, and that's another thing. My upload schedule has been such a mess because I had to help my brother move and then had to turn right around and go back to court the next week, and it's, like, hours away from me. So I would have to drive and, like, stay the night, and it was this whole thing. And finally, I think it's over. I have another court date for the end of March, but I had to go to, like, City Hall, and they had to verify all my paperwork to prove that I was telling the truth, which is absurd. Like, they should have to prove that I wasn't, you know what I mean? But just to verify that I didn't live in that area, and they did approve it. So that court date should be dropped, but I've just not been present at all in my comment section, and I think it's showing. And I just want to say, even though I haven't responded to a ton of comments, I do read them all, and I love and appreciate you guys so much more than you could ever imagine. Your support truly means so much to me, and just having this channel has just been so life-changing. I mean, just hearing the little parts of my life and knowing where I've come from and seeing how much better my world is right now, and just being in this house with Amanda and our niece and nephew and they're like Amanda's kids, because Amanda raised them from the time they were babies until they got older, and then they lived back with their mom for a couple of years, and it just didn't work out, so we got them back. But they're basically like her kids, so it's more like her kids, you know what I mean? And even though they're technically like her niece and nephew, but it's wonderful having them here with us, and the baby, and just getting to experience her being young. But it's like, I've been so upset and stressed out over all this stuff that I haven't even really got to enjoy that, which is crazy, because if you knew how obsessed I've been over this baby, that would blow your mind. But it's just been a nightmare, and it's just so unfair that they can do this and don't even have to have a good reason to do that to somebody, and just essentially turn their life upside down, even if it's momentarily. Like, the stress and anxiety that caused is just unreal. I do have terrible stress and anxiety anyways. Well, I have terrible depression and anxiety, so it doesn't take much to flare it up. And then there's the whole, like, fear of when I get that upset or that anxious or that depressed, like, am I going to relapse? Like, that's a fear I think I'm always going to have, which is kind of a hard pill to swallow, if I'm being honest. But, you know, what can you do besides just grin and bear it and try to stay strong? But that's the wonderful thing about this channel, and, you know, having you guys and stuff in my corner, because outside of all of that and just the world in general right now is such a very dark place. I have this corner of the world, and it's peaceful and kind and just everything that I need in my life, and I'm grateful that you guys are here with me. But before we move on, this foundation stick, if you have the same kind of skin type and you like this type of natural finish, I love this from LYS. It is so good. Oops, I'm dropping it. This is my third one, and this is all I have left. I will definitely be buying another one of these as soon as I get paid. I'll have the shade LN6, but this is, I can't stop using it. If you are someone that looks at my description boxes, then you know this has been the one that has been in there a lot. But I also, you know, I'm really picky about my concealers, but they released this one, and I have it in the same shade. And it has like one of those like doe foot applicators. It twists up, and it's full coverage, which is hard for me to find a foundation, a concealer that's full enough coverage. I mean, you see how dark my eyes are underneath, and that one does it. So the Yensa concealer has been my favorite for a while, but this one has quickly, it's right up there next to it. So this is my everyday brow routine. I use this every single day. These are both of Benefit's brow pencils. This is the Precisely My Brow, and this is the Detailer. Both I have one, well, this one's in shade 3.5, and then the Detailer I have in shade 3. They don't sell 3.5, but I kind of like it this way because I do like from here back in this one, and then I fill in the front with the Detailer, and I love it so much. But I kind of just draw the line here, and I haven't been using my brow serum. So I have like a bald spot right here that I have to fill in. But we're going to fast forward through this part. If not, it's just going to be a bunch of silence because I can't talk very much while doing this. Okay, so once I get that filled in that way, I comb it up. And then I draw the same line. I go from the hairs that are down here on the bottom. And see, then I like to comb through. This is my easy brow though. The other one is always harder. But the reason why I only do the front half with this detailer is because if you don't and you have as much to fill as I do and you try to do your full brow with this one pencil, you are going to fly through this product so fast. I had to learn the hard way. But I like to hold it from the ends like this. That way I can use like very feather-like strokes. Then I take the spoolie and go through. I like to make sure this bottom part right here is faded. And I do that with the spoolie. And then I make sure there's no like gaps to fill. And this brow glue is my absolute favorite. This is the Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel. I've not been able to get my hands on the full size. It's been sold out, but it dries up and gets like too sticky anyways. So I kind of think it's better to get the smaller ones. But if you want your brows to be laminated, I've not found anything yet that compares to this. If you have and you've tried this one, let me know. I really liked the ABH Brow Freeze too, but I like this one even better than that one. It's like they stay. And I don't like try to make mine stick straight up. I mean, I know some people love that, but I have thick enough brows. I don't need more fluffiness added to them. But that is the brow. I'm going to do the other one real quick off camera and I'll be back and we'll move along. Lately, before I do concealer, I've been doing bronzer, but I like to go in with a light layer of concealer. Like, I'm not pushing any product out. It's just what's on the doe foot. I mean, I do wear an excessive amount of concealer though. But this one I blend out with my sponge. That way I don't have to like add any back here, so that I can do like my bronzer and blush and all of those things before I go in with everything else. But now we'll move on. So this is the one I've been using a lot lately. It's the one from Revolution. And I like it. It is very warm. I will say that. Which, I mean, a lot of bronzers are. But this one is more like yellow tone, kind of. But I like it. And the way I've been doing my face lately has been a little different than how I used to do it before. Like the order of things anyway. So the whole court thing is kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about anyways. Just to tell you what's been going on. I mean, this whole like 2025 was terrible. I mean, I had a lot of good experiences too. So it's really hard to say that because I got invited to that Creators and Friends trip. And right before that, I got to go to Vegas. It was my first time on a plane. My first time like anywhere outside of the tri-state where I've been like grew up and raised. And first time to Vegas, and I got to meet Christina from Gorman Girls, and I stayed at her house. Well, when we went to Vegas, I didn't stay at her house, but then I've gotten to go back since then, like when we went to Greece and Croatia. Like, I had such a good year, literally one of the best years of my whole life. But what a lot of people don't know is that I have 2 brothers, no sisters, but I am 37. My oldest brother is 38. My younger brother is 25. And I was 12 when he was born, so he's like a baby to me. He'll always be the baby. And I've always been like protective of both of them, but in different ways. Like, my older brother has always been my sidekick, and my younger brother literally just feels like my baby in a way. And just seeing him go through a lot, it's very hard. And literally, like 2 weeks before I left to go to Greece, his boyfriend unalived himself, and my brother found him. And that was his like first real friend and first boyfriend, and they'd been together for 4 years. And I'll just never forget that phone call. Like, it was just terrible, and I can't imagine what he's going through, which is why, like, when he got his first apartment, like, by himself, I wanted to be there with him, because I knew that move was going to be hard for him, to move from where they live together to somewhere by himself. But he's doing better. You know, it's going to be one of those things that's going to take him some time before he can be happy again, I feel like. Because he's been through hell. Pure hell. And it breaks my heart so bad that there's not really anything I can do or say to fix that. But on the positive side of things, my channel has seen a lot of growth. I've gotten added to a lot of different PR brands, which is awesome. And also, I got added, I don't know if I'm added back on their list, but I haven't gotten PR from Unearthly. I didn't get anything all last year because they were struggling, so they had to close their PR list. And I'm finally back there. I'm getting something from them, a new collection. What they're sneak peeking now, and I'm so excited. Listen, I love this blush so much by Morphe. This is the Cheek Thrills Multi Finish Face Trio, and I have the shade After Party. Well, this is the shade After Party. I love this. Like, do you see the divot in that? I've used this like 3 days in a row, but this is such a fantastic blush. But I'm using my Adept brush to put it on the cheeks. I like these brushes, but you cannot use the Cinema Secret Spot Cleaner to clean these because I grabbed the wrong one anyways. It tears them up. Like, you can't even spot clean with these. It messes the glue up in them and they fall apart like very easy. They're fine with water, but I just want to throw that out there. I like the face brushes more than I do the eye brushes, though. I like the eye brushes too, but I have my favorites, my Singe Beauty and my Sigma brushes, and if it ain't broke, why fix it? You know what I mean? But I go ham with the blush. You already know this. I love it so much. It makes me so very happy. And I put on an excessive amount. Then I blur it and fix it and go back and forth. And I don't know why I just put on less. But I just love it. It makes me so happy. But that, like, going back into what we were talking about, like, that's why I just love makeup so much. First of all, like, it's the only thing that's ever really been able to hold my attention, and I've not gotten bored with it like in my whole life besides reading. And it just, no matter what's going on in the world, how bad things are, like how overwhelmed, and just how, like, I just get to where I just can't take anymore. I feel so, like, wrapped and wound up with anxiety. I could sit here with a palette or with some of my favorite products and literally have the best day of my life. It brings me so much joy, and in my, like, everyday life outside of the internet and people I've met through YouTube and, you know, you guys and all of that, I don't have that with anyone else. So I feel like what we share is special because you guys get it. You get the excitement when you swatch like a holo or a multi-chrome, or you see a palette that has like the best color story and it just makes your freaking jaw hit the floor. And that's why I just love YouTube so much, because it like opened a whole world for me of endless possibilities, and it's just the greatest. Then I like to take my foundation brush and kind of take this back some, because I always end up taking it over too far, but it's fine, it works. One might say I wear way too much blush, but I could say, is there such thing? I don't know, because I'm adding more. And some people, I get comments say they hate that I put my blush up here, but I always have my hair down, so you can't see it up there when my hair is down. But the way it just snatches my cheekbones and lifts my face, I love it so much that I don't really care. Like, I feel like it's one of those things, as long as the person wearing it likes it, that really is all that matters at the end of the day. I am not a trendy person. I will never be a trendy person. I've never done something because it was on trend in my whole life. That's just not who I am. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just not me. And it took me a long time in my life to learn what it means to stay true to myself, which is something that is important to me. So that is what I do. But now we are going in with highlight, and this is a favorite, the Space Age Prophecy highlight. From KALEIDOS. I got this gifted to me from Heather Austin. Speaking of, did you guys see my MVNDI video with her collab? Because I love it. It's so freaking good. I had so much fun with that palette, you guys. It's one of, well, it's actually singles, but you can buy the bundle and make it a palette. But it is hands down one of my favorite launches that has launched. I always put highlight there, and then it's always too much, and then I just go back over it to tone it down a little. But she did such a good job on that. The shimmers are so good. And you know how sometimes with like MVNDI shimmers, if you like use your finger in them, it can make them get hard pan. Like, you can still pick them up, but you have to do it with a brush, and it's a bit more finicky. Those shimmers are not like that at all. That feels like a completely different formula. And I like the original MVNDI formula, so don't get me wrong. But I like that formula a lot better. I just think she did such a good job. And then after I get this like all blended out, I like to pick some up on my finger. And then do this. And the thing that I also really love about these Morphe blushes is that there's powder ones in them too. So, because I always like to go over it with more blush. I told you I really like blush, but I think I actually want to use my Gothic Romance from Unearthly and cool this cheek a little. So let's do that. I'm going to use this shade, Buried Letters. I was going to do this collection today in this video, but man, I literally all I think about is this Lethal palette that I made, and I wanted to use it so bad. I forgot what I was even doing. Don't you hate it so much when you're doing your makeup and you could feel like a little hair stuck to your face? That drives me absolutely insane. Let's use this Lethal brush. This is a good brush collection as well. Okay, we're going in with this one. This is a tightly packed brush though. Might be too tightly packed. Yeah, I think it is. So let's find a different one. Let's do this one from ColourPop. And I'll just blend this out. See, that's what I like. Dark blush. Today's our nephew's birthday. I think I said that, but now that I've said it out loud again, but if I didn't, it is. He turns 15 today. Our niece, she's 17. She just turned 17 a couple months ago, almost 2 months ago, but I remember when I was her age, and man, I just thought I was an adult and I just had everything figured out. But in all fairness, she has a lot more figured out than I did at her age. She's leagues past what I was. But it's crazy. Okay, now that this is set, this is when I do my concealer. Well, not set, you know what I mean. Now that the cheeks are done, this is when I do my concealer. And I like to put some here. And then I let it sit for a minute so that it kind of dries. And then I go in with the world's greatest concealer brush in the whole world. I mean, that's why it's world's greatest. It's the Singe Beauty F02. You get the fullest coverage with this brush. But while I'm waiting for that to get a little tacky, we will pat out these very, very deep forehead wrinkles and set it. I need to repurchase my Huda powder because it is almost out, but it's my favorite, my absolute favorite at blurring and all of the things. And I do set almost all of my face except for my cheeks, so I'm guessing, like, I guess that would be like the T-zone. I have a line like right here that I always have to set. If I don't, it creases. Oh, and this is my Unearthly Cosmetics Velour Poof. It is so squishy, so you can like fold it up and make it so tiny. I almost touched that, but it's like a really good one. It is my favorite. I have 3 of them, and I make sure I always have one clean, because I can't use anything else now. They all feel too hard. But I just follow underneath the blush, and then sometimes I'll use the powder to blur it because I always put on too much. And then go in with the F02 and just pat this situation out. I'll just drag it down into that triangle shape. That's something I love about cream products, like cream blush and stuff. It's a lot more forgiving, and it's so easy to just go back in with your brush and fix whatever mistake you just made, which I make lots of them. I have yet to ever find a concealer that doesn't crease on me. And some are better than others. Like the Yensa one is really good. The By Mario one I think is really good. This one is pretty good, but it creases. But at this point, it's fine. I'll set it. I just want there to be coverage. Full enough coverage, you know? But now I need to figure out what I want to do for lip products. Or lip liner, because I do want to use this from Wicked Widow. I don't know. Oh, this is the shade I'll pop it up on the screen. I cannot even begin to say that, but this might just be one of the coolest lip products I have ever seen in my life. It is so pretty. It's like orange, pink, green, and a cool tone blue. I really love it. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like before the lip liner, but it's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go find a lip liner, apply the lip, and prime my eyes, and I'm going to be back because I want to talk to you about this build your own palette situation that Lethal is having. They did send me this in PR. Well, they sent me this palette in 9 shades, but I had a few and they all wouldn't fit, and I built my color story off of the shades that I already had, and I love this so freaking much. Oh my god, I'm so excited to do a look with this. But I did want to tell you guys about it because I think this is really cool and was really easy to use. So I'll be right back and we'll get into the eyes. But what do you think of this so far? That lip is so pretty on these liners. I used Brazen Birch from Singe and the shade Witty Walnut. Brazen Birch I used to fill in my lips, and Witty Walnut I used to line. But this is so pretty. I love it so much. And this formula is way better than the one that I tried with their Halloween collection they had last year. The Haunting palette. What's it called? I cannot even remember. Tales of Terror, I think. But, yeah. Moving on, I used my DD Signature eyeshadow base in the shade Sand Seal. It's the more like flesh toned one that I have. And now we're going, ooh, something broke, I think. I don't know what I did. I dropped this earlier, but it must have cracked that green shade on the inside. I'm going to have to repress that before I put this back on my shelf. But I am excited to do this look because we're going for fall and what is almost springtime. But you know I love grungy makeup. But I want to start with that green shade, and I'll give you the details I think on the build your own palette feature like at the end. But because I just want to get into the eye look, I'm excited to finally be creating a look with this. So I could tell you what these shades are. Kind of scared to pull this one out because I don't want to break it anymore. But this is the shade Habitat. And I will link all of these down below. And I want to use this shade for the inner corner. The shimmers that I picked in this were so good. Some that I wanted were sold out. But I can't wait to be able to do this again and maybe make a bigger palette. If you guys are interested in me doing another video like this, let me know. I could go on the site and build a bigger palette and pick it up. That could be fun. But this shade is a bit deeper. Like, I could build this up and make it a lot darker. But I think I want to try to make it as light as I can. Like, it's blending out so nicely. So when they had this like singles bundle thing before, I wanted to build my own palette and do this, but by the time I was able to afford to, they like didn't have the feature anymore. So I was so happy when they brought it back. I think I want to take that same shade though on an E01 and let's just put it down here in the inner part. I just love how cool toned this green is. Part of me wishes I would have put a cream shade in this palette for the inner corner, but I can always find one in my collection somewhere and use it because I'm going to need something for the inner corner. And I'm just using the E01 to put some of this here on the lid too. I mean, these shades are dark, so this is going to be a smoky look. Even if I didn't want it to be, but I do, so we're fine. So I'm going in with another E06. I think I want to start with this shade. And this was one that I added last. Like, I wasn't gonna do this one, but I'm glad I added it. What shade are we? Okay, so this shade is called PORE. And it is very pretty. So I'm going to take this all along the crease. This isn't going to be like the main shade. It's going to be pretty much like the mid-tone. But I love these two colors together. I just think they're so pretty. And that blends like a dream, does it not? Then I'm going to go in with this shade, Sidewinder. The name of that makes me laugh so hard. But I'm going to do this on an E03. I like the peachy undertone of this, especially with this palette. I just think it's really pretty. And it's going to kind of tie in with the shimmers, I feel like. So I'm just going to build this up out here, and then I'll go back in with that other shade and deepen it all up. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into that deeper shade, and I'm going to use my favorite packing brush, which is my Sigma E25. It's just so good for packing on shadows and blending. And it gets it into that perfect angle that I love so much for my eye shape. I feel like this look is going to be fun. But so far, this color combo reminds me of my Unearthly Cosmetics palette, the Just a Taste. Yes. Drawing a complete blank on eyeshadow palette names today. But look at that. It's already so fun. Let's take this on the lower lash line too. I just love the undertone of this. It's like berries, like Christmas berries. Cranberries, I guess, would be the word. Okay, so now I'm going to use a clean E25, and I want to go in with this dark wine shade called Feral. This is one that I previously had, but I think this out here is going to be really fun. I just love the mix of like warm tones, cool tones. It's just such a fun way to play with color. But before I do that, I did want to add some more of this other shade, Sidewinder. Look how dark. Oh, I just love that smoky outer corner. It gets me every time. I can never get enough. But I also wanted to tell you guys, I've been reading this series from Jennifer Armentrout. It is the Blood and Ash series, and it is so good. I finished book 5 last night, and I have to wait till I get paid so I can buy some more Audible credits, but I cannot wait to read the last book tomorrow. Oh, I'm so excited. It's such a good series. One of the best that I've read in a while. And it's just kept me on the edge of my seat. Has such a good love story. Such a good storyline. Like so many unexpected twists and turns of things that you just don't even see coming. And I love it so much. I had to tell you guys about it. If you've read it, let me know what you think of it. And if you haven't, what are you reading right now? Like, I really like thriller and fantasy stuff. If you have any recommendations, let me know. I've gotten recommendations from some of you guys before, and some of them have been so good. So I'm always down to find a new book. My favorite things are series, though. I love series and being able to just get lost in them. I get attached to the characters. I know I have issues, but I get attached to them, and sometimes just one book isn't enough. And look, that peach, it kind of just fades into that highlighter. It's such a good combo, and honest, that was like the happiest accident I think I've ever had. I had to look to see if I was right about this. Yes, here's the inner corner. And then, I mean, you don't have the peach, but you could use the yellow. And then you have this color. You don't exactly have like that full-on red. Like, there's differences in undertones, but you could totally get something very similar to this matte crease with that Just a Taste palette as well. Okay, so at the end, I do want to show you the other shades that I have in the palette besides the ones that I'm using for this look. But before we do that, I have to show you this shade. Let me pull it out so I could tell you what it's called. It has their old logo on it, so I'm pretty sure it's an older one. It's the shade Bismuth. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, forgive me. But do you see how holographic and beautiful that shade is? Oh, like every part of me wanted to put all of these hollows on my eyes, because you already know I got several of them in this palette, but I'm gonna refrain from doing that and do what I think will look the best. But we're going in with some Stick and Sparkle from Diverune. They finally showed the full collection. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Actually, that reminds me, it's on its way to me, and I'm so excited. I think it comes here Monday. Oh, it hasn't shipped yet, but I cannot wait to get that in my hands. I also can't wait to get the Woeful Whimsy palette from Unearthly. That one will be here Friday, and it's going to be so fun. But I'm just putting my glitter glue all over the lid in the center. And then we're dipping into the shimmers. And you can guess, I am so excited. So I think there's two shades I'm using. I might be talked into more, but one of them is the shade Quartz, which is another hollow, but it's a holographic multi-chrome, and it is so beautiful. I'll show you more swatches. And then we have this shade, which I think is a duo. It's Volant, I think is how it's pronounced. But it's about to be so good. So we're going in with this one first. And it's so pretty. And I thought this could be like a bright, like fiery situation out here in this dark smoky look, and it would be so pretty, and I was not wrong. Oh, and I love it. Look at that. That all over the lid honestly would be so stunning, but I do want to use more than one shimmer, and I have 4 more in this palette that I created that I'm excited to use, but I did want to narrow it down some. But now we're going in with this one, which is so pretty. And the undertone is like perfect. It matches the back half of the crease so well. But I want to put this out here in the inner corner. Take it up and over some, over top of that shade. And then I'll go back in with that shade. just so I can blend the two. I love this. I just love shimmers that have like that orange peachy flip. So this shade was the whole reason I did the highlighter, and I wanted to bring in that lighter shade out here, even though I technically didn't need it. As you saw, it was blending just fine on its own, but I felt like it just kind of helped tie it all together in the best way. And I love to play with all of the different undertones too. I just think it's so stunning. Then I want to go back in with that deep purple. I think it was called PORE. And we will just plop this in out here. And make sure it's all nice and blended. So I'm going to use this Morphe Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette, and I'm going to use this cream shade in the inner corner to brighten up. It's like a satin, I think, but I just want to add some brightness. I love this so much. But I need to find the perfect eyeliner, and I want to do my mascara, but I think I'm going to come back and do my lashes on camera, because I have so many people ask me how I put lashes on, and I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do it on camera because I have to be so close to the mirror, but I will try, and we'll just see how it turns out. But I'll be right back with the other eye done and the finished look. Oh, everything looks better with mascara and liner, doesn't it? But I always feel naked without lashes, and I think it's because I've worn them for so long that just mascara doesn't do it for me. But I'm going to do the Melt Moxie lashes that I've been wearing. Oh, and I used Peach Fuzz. Is that what it is? Yes, from ColourPop in the waterline, and I lightened the inner part a little bit with Exit. But I wanted to show you what they look like. They're hard to see in that packaging, but I wear them a lot, and I figured it's fitting that you can actually see what I'm wearing. But they are so pretty and wispy. I love them. But we're gonna put these on, or at least I'm gonna try. These are the pair that I've been wearing for quite some time. So the only lash glue that I like is the Duo, and it's the one with the green writing on it, of course, and it has the brush applicator, not the paddle. The Kiss one is okay, but I have like very watery, like allergy eyes, so I have issues with that one like popping off in the inner corner, so I prefer this one. And I'm pretty sure it's latex free. It's supposed to have vitamins in it, but what's that gonna do, you know? But I like to put a little line like that and wait for it to start turning blue. I will tell you, the first time I put on lashes, it took me hours and hours and hours. I'm not even kidding. It was a nightmare, and they still weren't right. It's one of those things, like, people could give you all the tips in the world, but until you learn how, like, what works best for you, it's gonna be difficult. But I like to bend my lash band like this, even if they're a pair that I've worn a lot. It just, I don't know, makes it easier if they're in like more of a U shape to put them on. I love the way this look turned out though. I think it is so pretty and so fun. This is probably going to be one of my longest videos that I've ever posted. But I like to hold it up like this, as you can see, and I'm looking down at my mirror, and then I just place it, and I make sure this back half is tacked on. And then I slowly, like, push it in. This tool, this is from Kiss. I got it from one of their like false lash kits, like for individual lashes. It has been a game changer. I have one from Ardell too, but I like this one better. The way it's shaped works a lot better for me. But it allows you to squeeze the lash and it's not pointy or sharp, so you don't have to worry about poking your eye. And then it's on. It's a lot faster for me to do it now. But I wear them every day and I've just gotten used to applying them. And sometimes they're still not perfect. Like sometimes when I'm editing back footage and I am editing the up close, I can see like my lash band isn't all the way up against the lid, but as long as people don't see it when they're looking at me, I don't really care. I'm not looking for perfect, but that is how I apply my lashes. And sometimes like you can go through and adjust a little more, but also don't take them all the way to the corner of your eye. You really want to take them like to the corner of down here, because if you take them all the way out to the very end, it's not gonna look right. They're gonna look wonky and too long. Like if you see when I look up like this, mine are missing like a gap right there, but you cannot tell that. Now I just transferred everything, but you can't tell that from looking at me. Oh, I just love the way this came together, and honestly this video was so much fun. I feel like I needed this more than I even realized. Just sitting down and getting ready and chatting, getting all the stuff that's been going on like out in the open. It's been nice, and I appreciate you guys being here and listening while I vent, rant, whatever. But let me tell you about the other shades I have. So this is PROTOPLANET, which is really pretty. It's like a orange, green, pink multi-chrome, but this one is really pretty. Let me show you on the back of my hand. I love a shimmer, but that's like a lime green to pink. It is so stunning. And then I already showed you this one, the BISMUTH. Oh, the most beautiful hollow I think I've ever seen in my life. Like, truly, the video does not do it justice at all. My lighting up here kind of sucks when it comes to trying to get good like videos of stuff. But then I have the mattes. This is ANTIVENOM, which is just a neutral brown. Goes great with the color story. This one they sent to me. I didn't actually pick this one. It kind of doesn't go with the palette, but it could be a fun twist. But this is the shade Scales. I think this came out with one of their launches that they've came out with recently. I can't think of the name of it right now. I know you're not surprised. But then we also have Paralysis, which is another matte. And then more shimmers. Viper. This is one of the ones I think they sent me. Or it was a part of that same collection. I think I picked this one out. But it is so pretty. This is a hollow too, I believe. Yes. And it's so stunning. It's like a multi-chrome hollow. Nowhere near as hollowy as that other one, but stunning nonetheless. And then we have this terracotta in the shade Spawn. And then this one I really love, Dark Matter. It's like one of those inky shades that's like green but very dark plum. And it's so pigmented. Like, it is so gorgeous. I love it. And then last, I have one more matte. You know I had to throw a black in here. And it's the shade Transmutation. And minus the green that I have to fix. that is the color story. And I love it. It is grungy and very fall-esque, which is everything that I know and love. Well, not everything, but it's one of my favorites. You get the point. So, as for the build your own palette feature, that is really cool. This is not an ad or anything by any means. I really liked it, and I wanted to tell you guys about it too, because I know a lot of you guys like building your own palettes, and I just thought it was fun. I'd never really done anything like it, and it was cool. But this is cool because you can do eyeshadows, face powders, water activated liners, and do it all in one palette, and you get like 20% off at the end when you go to check out, which is cool. But the first step is when you like choose your palette size, and there is a 4-pan, a 6-pan, a 9-pan, a 12-pan, and a 24-pan, which I might upgrade and get the 24-pan because I already have 16 shadows, and just add in some more of other shades that were already sold out. But after that, you pick out your shades and stuff. But there are like so much to choose from. You have multi-chrome eyeshadows, duo and trio chromes, pure meadows and hollows, metallics, mattes, water activated liners, highlighters, and face powders. I didn't even see the highlighter and face powder option, but that's really cool as well. And the whole thing was like really easy to do and just fun. Even if you just want to go on there and just sift through and like just create your own palette just to see like what it's like to get to build your own palette and come up with fun color stories that you could even use to like dig through your collection and find inspiration to create looks with what you already have. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea and I wanted to mention it, but I will have it all linked down below along with all of the products that I used in today's video. But I had so much fun today and I really appreciate you guys being here. I know I have lots of people who watch my channel from different parts of the world, but the world is a heavy place right now, but I hope you know that my inbox is always open, as well as my comment section if you feel okay with, you know, commenting like personal things or whatever. But if not, my inbox is always open. My email is always down below in my description box. You can always reach out to me at any time, and I'm here. I appreciate you guys listening to me and just being here with me every day and being a part of my life and a part of my journey here on YouTube. It really does mean so much, and those words feel so small for how big they feel in my heart. You know what I mean? But it really does mean so much. And I hope you guys have the best day ever, the best week, the best whatever. And I hope to see you back in the next one. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really hope you will. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Would you like to see more Get Ready With Me types of videos? I mean, we don't have to talk about deep stuff, but just let me know your thoughts. I would like to do more Shop My Stash types of videos too, but I don't really know how to film them. So I will have to like go do some research, watch other people's, and try to see what I like about them and figure out my way. But I would love to hear your thoughts on all of that down below. But thank you guys so much for everything. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And until next time, bye.